All right, let's dive in. Maciek, great to have you here. Daniela, Andy, welcome back. Janaina, welcome back. Great to have you guys here on main stage. Maciek, your partner in crime, who I think I saw sitting right up here somewhere, there he is. Aninda was on stage yesterday and really walked us through how powerful your hyper-personalization journey has been and the kind of results that you're seeing as a consequence of it. Multi-parts of the life cycle, multiple products, pretty incredible what you guys are doing. Talk to me a little bit about how is FICO Platform, the singular platform that you're on, how is that actually improving collaboration across PNC?
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and Ninda, my partner, is in fact over there looking at me, so that's comforting in a way. Critically, I think FICO Platform is really a critical part of our digital transformation at PNC. We are deploying it across products, across channels, across the credit life cycle with the capabilities of the FICO Platform and a bunch of other technology changes. We are driving aggressively towards this nirvana event-driven decisioning of hyper-personalizations, as you're saying, right? Now, that is a huge technology change, but it is also an enormous cultural change. If nothing else, by the sheer amount of collaboration that it requires, that it drives, that it necessitates. So, as an example, we have recently started deploying event-driven account management capabilities. It's very successful, it's going really well. Now, what does that mean, right? And event-driven account management capabilities. So really what it means is that processes that were batch-based, periodic, contained from a risk perspective, governance perspective, are now becoming real-time management of a customer's profile. Well, you know, real-time management of a customer's profile can be a risky thing, right? And to be honest, real-time risk management requires real-time collaboration between first line of defense, second line of defense, technology. That, to be honest, is sometimes harder to accomplish than the technological change itself.
Yes. So how is Platform helping you do some of that?
Well, so a number of ways, right? Considering the topic, I'll stick to the analytic capabilities, such as, for example, simulation, which is a critical if you are trying to really move into this hyper-personalized real-time management of a customer. But along with the simulation come the other capabilities that were just demonstrated. The optimization, absolutely critical. Alternative deal structures, which is a version of optimization. Analytic workbench, MLX. These capabilities really have to work together. The really big deal, to be honest with you, with FICO Platform is the fact that those capabilities are well integrated into a decisioning engine. So it sort of works, for lack of a better word. Well, that's a big deal. That package together really raises the bar on the sophistication of analytics that we can do and accelerates the speed with which we can deploy innovation into production. That's very critical. So at PNC, and Linda mentioned that, we have recently created a decisioning center of excellence. To some extent by necessity, if you will. Very tangibly, tactically, what it means, I physically moved members of my team, of my business team, to be co-located with the technology team. So we're now in a situation where quite literally business folks are working shoulder to shoulder with technology partners, making change happen.
Wow, that's incredible. So you physically co-located them in one place?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really breaking down barriers in all sorts of different ways, right?
They had to move buildings.
Fantastic. You know, I loved what you said earlier, right? That real-time means real-time risk. And that means that you actually need to collaborate in real time. And what better way than not just giving them a single platform to work in, but also co-locating them so they're physically next to each other. I love that. Really, really powerful.
I mean, if you think about it, and everybody here is a risk manager in a way. So we talk a lot about technology, but what we don't talk about is the governance aspects that come with it, the approvals, the committees. Credit policy is not a thing you change lightly. Pricing is not a thing you change lightly. We're talking a lot about the real-time capabilities, but all of those processes have to keep up with that change.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Can you talk a little bit about how your role is changing as you sort of progress through this journey?
Right. So, I mean, if I thought back to maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I took on this job, and I came from model development, from running model development teams. At first, it really was a lot of operational firefighting, if you will. 4 or 5 years ago, it was a lot about automating manual processes, fighting it out with legacy infrastructure, technology to pull out data out of it, those sort of challenges, firefighting. Right now, as the technology has progressed and analytics have progressed, it's really about innovation. It's about implementation of emerging technologies. It's about coming up with different ways of interacting with our customers. It's really about driving change. And of course, that's my theme, if you will, the critical component, that collaboration between different functional areas that previously have worked together, but maybe slower, more sequentially, and so on. So, those aspects are very important, if you will, and they frankly make the job much more fun. One element I will mention is the speed of learning required seems to be accelerating.
Yes.
As opposed to slowing down.
Yes.
You think you got comfortable in a job, you don't.
Yes.
You keep learning more and more and more.
Yes. And that makes it more fun.
It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in that context, I would call out FICO World. As you know, this is, I think, my 4th or 5th FICO World.
Yes.
Every FICO World I come out with something new. I come up with something that I learned, and I try to take it back home. And in fact, in this context, I'm going to call out my colleague over there from Brazil, right? 3 years ago, I saw her presentation on the Bradesco brain, right? Which was actually quite insightful. And I can tell you, some of the things happening in Brazil had a big impact in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Wow. I love that. I don't think we can say it any better ourselves. I mean, this conference is about learning from each other. This conference is about sharing with each other. This conference is about how do we intellectually stimulate and challenge each other. And so it's such a beautiful thing, Maciek, to hear you say that. It's really gratifying, and I'm so grateful that you've got that type of value out of it. And I'm sure that many folks here have gotten similar value from what you and Ananda and others have shared here on stage. Thank you, and I hope to see you at many, many more FICO Worlds to come. Daniela, thank you for coming to FICO World. BCP is the largest bank in Peru. We're so proud to be working with you folks. I don't think I'll ever forget you telling me how your pricing teams would come up with a strategy, and then they'd send it out to the analytic teams, and then by the time they and the technology teams got together, what you got back was a Frankenstein monster. And you needed to do something about this. It's a visual that is such a magnificent way of describing the problem. Tell us, how has FICO Platform changed collaboration for you now that so that you don't get these Frankenstein monsters?
Thank you. Well, first, thank you for the invitation. I'm really glad to be here. So yeah, it has changed a lot for us. Like, implementing FICO has helped us reframe all the way we were doing the end-to-end processes, with a strong purpose of giving the correct product to the correct client in the correct channel and timing. So now risk, pricing, and soon collections too are getting the most value from our analytical models, where we build on top of them and we put the business rules that are aligned with the business, and we can get the most value from that. Before that, as you say, it was all like stick with the glue. It was really difficult, lots of manual processes. We were struggling with defining strategies in Symphony, and it was almost impossible to get strategies in the correct timing, in the correct time to market. So now we see that very different. We're even able to have traceability on our strategies, and that's great in terms of accountability too.
Fantastic, incredible. Daniela, you also shared with me a wonderful example of how this collaboration is now driving innovation. Can you maybe share with everybody here?
Yes, I would love to. So, well, as I told you, before we had a very, very difficult time doing a lot of operative tasks. So now what we see is that people of our teams, analytical, commercial teams, can dedicate time to synergize, to do work together, to innovate. That was something that was really difficult before. In fact, before there were a lot of conversations about data issues, technological complexities, and now we're more talking about how can we create synergies together, how can we do strategies in a multidisciplined focus. So that has improved a lot. What we see is that before, sometimes when we implemented strategies with innovation, it backfired to us because due to a non-seamless integration, when we thought we were implemented X, finally we had C, right? And there were lots of things in the middle, lots of factors that we could not control. So now with FICO, we're able to have the end-to-end implemented there, and we have more confidence that we can create more complex and valuable strategies.
Fantastic. How has that also impacted your speed and agility, and what kind of results are you seeing?
It has made all the difference for us. When COVID hit, our world in banking industry in Peru changed a lot. We went from 0.25% of cost of funds to almost 8% in Peru. Inflation on the sky, the government uncertainty was huge. We have had 4 presidents in the last 4 years. So in that type of context, innovation and time to market makes all the difference. So in order to be ahead of that wave, we really took advantage of the partnership that we have created with FICO in order to get more valuable initiatives. In fact, I'm really proud that now, after almost more than 3 years working together, we have built on several analytical commercial strategies, which have given us an improvement of more than $100 million in terms of profit.
Wow. Incremental $100 million in profit. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. We look forward to doing many more multiples of that with you in the future.
Great.
Andy, welcome back. You were on main stage last year. And at that point, Nationwide, which is the largest building society in the world, had just rolled out mortgages. And then Ian from Lloyd's was on here yesterday, and now they're doing mortgage originations on FICO Platform. And with the two of you and a few others, we have over 50% of all mortgage originations in the UK now on FICO Platform. Incredibly proud of that. You mentioned last year that you were getting ready to roll out with cards and loans. And just love a quick update on how's that going, and how's having all these products on one platform actually changed the way in which you all work?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's fantastic to be back, loving San Diego for the first time, so really appreciate that. So yeah, last year when we had this conversation, we were through the journey of transitioning away from our legacy platform. So that was Windows 2008, and we were leveraging the FICO Blaze Advisor, the .NET version. And we were looking to move all of that to the FICO platform, so all of the strategies, the policy rules, models, etc., to the FICO platform. But alongside that, all of the remaining technology that surrounds that, such as all the integration with the multi-bureau providers, the access to the customer data, and also all of the APIs for the origination systems to callers, was migrating also to the Nationwide Enterprise Cloud, which was AWS. Now, going back to the Windows 2008, at society level, the decision made that we needed to get off because of the risks associated to that, to get off and mitigate that risk by the end of last year, so 2023. Now, in context for us, we'd mentioned last year about mortgages, but we still had buy-to-let mortgages to migrate. We had credit cards, we had personal loans, current account, and then limit management for overdraft and credit card increases. So it was a massive task to migrate that with effectively 7 months Now, the good news is, and the reason why I'm here and not in the job centre, is we successfully delivered that on the 16th of December in 2023. So we did leave it to the last minute to cause a bit of stress for James, who was in the audience, but a massive achievement. And I think with that one of the key reasons we were able to achieve it was that collaboration between the technology and the business. So when you look at all of the strategies that we needed to move across, that was managed purely by the business. They took full accountability for that. And we weren't talking about a huge team. This was 6 or 7 resources who had been skilled up during the mortgage release. And they were able to just, working very closely with their modelling and portfolio teams, but very closely with the IT teams, transition that over onto the FICO platform. And in addition to that, with new capability, because we had data orchestrator and solution editor, which didn't exist with Blaze Advisor, and they took full control of that. And that meant, from a technology side, my engineering teams were able to focus on the wider tech, the link up with the consumer platforms. And yeah, it was an incredible achievement. And I think the theme is superheroes. Yeah. I'd say, pretty much all of them teams, my team are superheroes. They all put in a massive amount of effort from both the business side and the technology side. So if you've got any of them capes and masks left, I'll bring them back to my team, and that can be the new dress.
Done. Absolutely. I mean, what you're describing almost feels unreal, right? And I think until you actually experience it, you don't realize how real it is. That this is not, as Patty said yesterday, it does what it says on the tin, right? Yeah. But it's hard to believe what you've just described, because it almost sounds like nirvana. Any last comments or thoughts on how collaboration has been impacted?
Well, overall, throughout, because Blaze, the FICO platform wasn't only sort of driving all the policy rules, it also coordinated the orchestration as well. So it indicated to the core platform when to call multi-bureau if we needed income verification or et cetera, et cetera. So it was just great to have a join up. Technology's always been, business have always been quite separated. But we're only ever going to get the success if both work together in hand. One objective, full accountability both, and then sharing the success at the end. So yeah, and that was enabled based on the fact that the FICO platform enables your business users effectively to do that configuration, meaning that I didn't need engineering teams to support all of that, which would have just added to the constraint.
Fantastic. Well, can't wait to see what you guys do next. Proud to be on this journey with you. Thanks for being here. Janaina, welcome back. It's been 2 years since you've been at FICO World. Really grateful to have you back. Thanks for coming. You shared about the Bradesco brain and what you guys were doing, and what you've been able to accomplish since then is incredible. You have 10,000 brainers working on the transformation process and putting in place a centralized intelligence system for the bank. Tell us a little bit more, or just remind us a little bit about Bradesco Brain, what's been happening in the last few years, what results have you seen?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here again. Bradesco Brain is our digital transformation program created 5 years ago. The teams have been working a lot over this time, creating new solutions, new experience to support Brazilians with their financial needs. The program has already implemented more than 1,000 of initiatives powered by FICO Platform. And the brand new one is the new credit menu, is a new solution created for the mobile application, Bradesco mobile application. It is a great example of hyper-personalization. And yesterday we had a great session presenting the initiative. The app uses real-time data to offer highly select credit and content to customers, help them to make decisions better. And the results are impressive. More than 20 million clients are using the application, and wow, the conversion rate increased more than 30% after the implementation.
Wow, incredible. Yeah, incredible. 30% improvement.
30%.
That's fantastic. Incredible results. Janaina, I've heard so many stories about folks that have been working on Bradesco Brain, getting promoted, taking on additional responsibilities, and it's so wonderful to see that not just are you seeing real results in the marketplace, but also personal results for the team that's participating on this. Can you talk a little bit about the way in which your internal work has changed, and what are some of these additional responsibilities that the team's taking on?
It's a great point. We all know that culture change is based on trust. People only rely on your strategy, follow you if they will be well represented and if they have the right resources to work. When you offer a strong platform, a strong tool, you empower your team to create new initiatives, to solve problems, and to engage in the process. So this is generating a very positive impact for all the stakeholders. And just giving you an example of how Bradesco has succeeded with this strategy, we have increased the number of transactions from 30 million monthly 5 years ago, and last year we had 2 billion transactions monthly. So we are...
You went from 30 million transactions a month
5 years ago,
to
2 billion.
2 billion transactions a month.
Monthly, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we are increasing our business, we are providing better experience, and at the same time we are generating opportunities for our people, because 50% of the Brain team, the Brainers, got a promotion over this time.
Wow.
So we are generating an empowerment virtual cycle.
Wow, incredible, fantastic. I was really looking forward to you folks building another video like you did at the last FICO World, showing how Bradesco Brain powered by FICO Platform. So we're going to have to talk about that. And next FICO World, you have to bring a new video.
Yeah, I have so many use cases to show.
Fabulous. I've also heard you talk about breaking down internal barriers and how that has really allowed you to bring new innovations to market in ways in which you hadn't seen before. So how is FICO Platform helping break down barriers and drive this innovation?
Having a strong and a unique platform is allowing Bradesco to move from a product-centric to a customer-centric strategy, and at the same time put all the teams to work together. As a traditional bank with more than 80,000 employees and hundreds of products and services in the portfolio, it's possible to imagine how tough it is, and that's the reason why we are so proud with the achievements we've got since then. And from now on, we are ready to consolidate the customer engagement lifecycle and exploring new use cases in marketing and CRM. Yesterday, we talked a lot about how to improve the CRM to create the next generation. And we are working a lot on this. And new use cases for agribusiness, for example, we've just launched a new platform, a digital platform for farmers. And it's a great use case to show here next year. And so there are so many opportunities to continue making the difference for all Brazilians.
Phenomenal. We're so glad to be on this journey with you, Janaina. I can't wait to hear what Bradesco and the Brainers are up to with FICO Platform next year. Hopefully we'll have you back. Janaina, Andy, Daniela, Maciek, thank you so much. Great to have you guys here. Have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and see you guys at the party tonight. Folks.